Oops. Hello, everyone. I'm really sorry I'm late. I have my mic turned on. Yeah, that's all good. And now let me open up the chat and make sure everything is going according to plan. Um, 1 second. I just got a mix. All the timings mixed up. Um, okay. Sorry, Alien. Yes. Yeah, I got very confused about timings and things like that. Things got haywired around here. And now we are about to open up. Let me go and start sharing my screen. Um, and okay, so here I am on the today, differently than my last stream, I am using um, Restream this time, and that means I can do some nice other stuff. And I can see all the chat in the same place, and that's pretty good. Um, how do I? There is something I'm trying now to pull in. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I think. Let's see if I can do from the host side. If I open the chat, I think I can be. I'm gonna be able to. Oh, that's. Let me see. Let me see. Uh huh. Nice. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I can pull up your messages now, and we can play around with the chat from this part. And basically, what I'm gonna do now is let's have a look at the state of the GitHub repository. I need to bring the tabs in and okay, so now we have DevTools open over here, and here I turn off the screen, and yes, there I am. Awesome. So let me know if the screen's not showing up, put it in the chat, and oh yeah, I could get us a little bit of background as well. It's so much easier. This thing. So we're also on the CrabNebula channel, and my channel. I'm checking up, experimenting with other social medias as well this time. So if you were on my last stream on my channel, I was experimenting with Streamlabs, and this time we're using software like Restream, and then everything is like way smoother. So what we need to do today is I'm gonna keep doing the pull request reviews on another time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull main, and I'm gonna update the solid router, because what happened on the solid router, let me see if I can show you. Um, as most projects around, as most like packages around solid, um, a lot of them are in the pre-release stage, which means that they are 0 point something, and essentially this means that breaking changes can happen, and they did. So on version 10 now, what we got are, let me see, we got a lot of the API changed. I think, hey Victor, I think, where is it? There's a migration path. over here. So essentially what Ryan the team did with the solid router was a big preparation for solid start that's gonna be released um, sometime in the first half of 2024. And what was missing in the router was actually what was missing in solid in this case was the data story. So mutations, there was a lot of there were some caching, they're not there. So for solid as a view library, that's okay not to have. But then as you start going towards like a full stack framework like solid start is gonna be, then you need to have a caching strategy, then you need to have something that's a little bit more that has like the full story. And so with that, Ryan is also bringing a mutation story and deprecating a lot of APIs. So for example, there is this this one, the routes one, could create a lot of issues when you would nest them, because essentially it would mean that groups of routes would have their layouts blocked. And so what solid router tries to do is have all the data loading functions happening in parallel. But then if you nest routes, what would happen would you would have like a waterfall, and that's bad. So it was a nice decision, in my opinion, to deprecate that. And then there are a few changes in terms of the data functions and how use route data is gonna work. And then another issue is that the outlet got deprecated. So who do we have here today? We have Alien here. So speaking Astral language, that's a slot. So essentially is that component that's gonna be injected inside. So that got deprecated. There's no outlet anymore. I totally forgot what's the React equivalent. React router has something like that. Used to have, maybe. Was not outlet though. If anybody remembers that in the chat, let me know. But yeah, so what we got now is that we don't have the outlet. Everything is just children. So you can have we can replace, if the usage is straightforward enough, we can just replace that. But there are a few workarounds that need to be done depending on your usage. Hey Das, how's it going? Nice to join. Nice for you to join us. And yeah, that's it. So for the DevTools, I don't anticipate like a lot of work. It's probably gonna be quite quick to do this whole migration, because our usage is more or less straightforward. Like we ended up not using the data routes because most of our data happens via streams, so via gRPC streams. And let me open up now. I'm gonna pull my DevTools repository, and so we're back into main, and let's open codes. Here we are. We can close everything. We can have, we don't need to have Tauri running at this point, and let's just pull it up. Awesome. So make sure I update everything. Oh yeah, PNPM always has something. And so now let's check our not the lock. Yeah. So first, let me show you that things are actually working. So what happens over here is that we basically generate some types for our protobufs. So this gRPC types. And yeah, so Vite plugin, Vite's now working on dev, which is good enough. And then, okay, I have everything working. So DevTools still running, which is a good thing. And I can actually get my Tari app to run as well. And so, okay. So everything is working as it should. If I move around, I can get all the data and so on. So at this point, yes, Das. So Solid Router is now 10.1, I think. So there was a patch. Let's check it out. So I can reset the app right now, and we actually don't need this at the moment. So just close it up. And now Solid Router, we are still on version 08. And let's update. Let's see what's the current last one, just to make sure. I'm opening up my repository again, and let's see on their package JSON what we have. 10.05. Okay, so we are 10.05, not 10.01 anymore. So let's put this one and break everything. Ho ho. We can also bump solid. Okay, 8.7. What's the latest one? Awesome. So now we have Solid Router and Solid.js updated, and now everything should break. Let's see. So now we open the app, and awesome. That's exactly what we needed at this point. Okay, so back to our code. Let's have a look. This is bugging me out. Bring this code a little bit closer to the camera, and cool. So now what I'm gonna do is let me show you up. What do we have here? Okay, so then again, we have this entry, which is where I have all my routes declared. And then we have these use routes, which just got deprecated. So that's actually what's breaking everything up at this first time. So theoretically, if I remember right, what we should do is what's this? And then here, route definition anymore. This is gone. This is gone. Okay, so that's our first bump. I don't remember the actual syntax. Let's see. Have you migrated your stuff, Das? So for the config-based routing, this should work then. What did I do wrong? Should have a router and etc. This is exactly what I did. That I actually prefer the so we have the path, we have components, we don't have any element. Oh yeah, it's not a direct descendant, I think, of, let's see. So we have the router over there, and maybe that's the issue. So let's take this one out. Have the entry directly from the app, and then if I come back over here. Oh yeah, this is. Oh, okay. So this one is also not solid start. This is just solid as well. That's not enough. So we have. Oh. I have a route that's returning null as a component. Do I? Ah, this one. And then this one should not return a navigate. So our component supposed to return a JSX element, not an element. Where am I returning an element in this case? Let's see if this one. Let's see what I see on my screen. Just the types, they're wrong? This is interesting. Oh, my error. My error is broken. Okay. Here's my error dialog. I need to fix that. Yep. That's a good point, Victor. I'll definitely try that out. I was just wanting to see if I would get like an actual runtime error, which I don't right now. But yeah, let's see. Let me see this other thing over here. I want to let's fix this one. Should be quick to fix. Here, dialog. And I have the close button, yada yada, and thing. I cannot do search and replace. That's so annoying. So this one I should be able to. Here. Oh. And Y needs to stay visible, but it's not in this case. Okay. So, okay, so let's have this one inside for now, and better than broken in this case. Okay, so yeah, that's a good. So now that I have requested module, no exported name outlets. Yeah, that's a good point. That was on side my. Let's take some real estate back from this, and now what I need to go is in my connect. No. Let's see, where do I have outlets used? Wow. Ah, yeah, of course, it's in the layout. Yes, yes, yes. So inside my dashboard, I go to the layout, and here's the outlet. So this is not an outlet anymore. It's gone, and now we have props. There's a component here, but yeah. So here should be able to just prop. Then if it reloads, we're back. And yeah, I think that was the only big use case. So cool. We have the app working. Now let's get the types working. And now I can get over, take the app out again and stop this. And now we need to fix this routes. So instead of these ones, let's do what Victor suggested. Let's have another route, and this is going to be an array, and first route is going to be like this with world component. Now, this is still complaining because okay, so let's do this. So it's saying that this thing is typed as an element instead of a JSX element. Let's check the docs say here. I thought in the beginning it could be because of my lazy thing not being typed. So let's see what the route component says. So we have nested route definitions are going to be the children, yes, and then component is the component that will be rendered when we match, which is exactly what we're doing, right? So if I come over here to my H1 and I ask TypeScript what that is, I need to turn on my hints. Yeah, so Usually when I'm recording, I take away all the hints. So now I need to bring them back because I'm using this awesome extension where you cannot really see it right now. Let's see again. So yeah, it's exactly a JSX.element. And again, I can see that over here. And it's exactly what the types should be. That's not working. So what are the types in this case? Route element should return JSX element. Not right. I think I have. I think I have bad. I think I'm having module conflicting. I have two versions of solid routed there. So now let's go back over here. Load. Thing. Let's wait for the types to load. Okay. Yeah, that's right. This is wrong. Oh, this is right. What's wrong is this one. Yeah. So that was the problem. I had two versions of solid router in my node modules, and VS Code was picking up the wrong one. Thank you, VS Code. Thank you. Now, what now? What did I break this time? This thing should still work. Yeah. So I have a bunch of them returning elements instead of. Huh? None of them is returning an element. This is weird. Back at it. So let's go again with the thing. We had the first one. Good. We are now gonna add this big chunk. Oh, I have the children. Yes. Yes. So let's add the app one first. The app and the route, because like the DevTools is served from a subpath. So we actually don't have a root. We have when we go to the root, the app immediately takes you to /app, which never really happens in production. This is just for dev. What essentially happens in production is that our Nginx servers just take you straight to /app, and things work. Okay, so we have this one, and now that's the one that apparently is gonna cause me problems. So let's see. I have here a route that comes with a few params, and then it has the children, and then the nested routes have a bunch of different, yeah. Still, it's still quite straightforward. What happens is that, again, the route, I pick like one tab that's going to be open from the get-go, and I just redirect the user there. I should, in this case, be using the navigate component, I guess, like I did here. But that should not be breaking the app, though. Let's see. Okay, so I go now, I'm in the router, and have these two, and then I have my catch-all. So technically these ones go here, and that immediately breaks. So I'll go straight to my culprit, which is this one. The whole children then. So is my layout broken? Layout default function comes back with a few providers. So shouldn't be the case of my layout breaking the app. No, we don't have submissions, we don't have actions. Yeah, nah. What I want to know is so it takes a route definition, so that's still the same, and or a JSX element as children, which is exactly what I needed in the very first place. In this case, I should have returned this thing there. And in my route, so I have the router, the route component. So the component is the thing that's going to be rendered. And then the children, the JSX element. So in this case, it's not an array. And maybe that's it. So back over here. This should not be this case. There's a JSX element of the routes. don't like this. This means that I cannot do this anymore. I'm in the wrong place. This means essentially that I cannot pass children like this, like an array, because it expects a JSX element, and then function returning an array is not a JSX element, which I don't want to do this. So in this case, I have the proper syntax here. I have this thing. And then I would nest route. I cannot. Okay, so it says that children can be path and components, but it's not letting me do it. Though things work. So I think the problem here is somewhere in the types. So what we have here is then you go inside and yada yada, and not quite the way it should be, I guess. It should be this. And we have navigate instead of use navigate, and we have the types broken. Now I need to see this app working again, because something went haywire here. So I reload this, and where can what happened, VS Code? Where's my terminal? My God, VS Code just went broke on me. So let's do this. I'm gonna split this panel over here, and okay, the server stopped, and now I just need to start it again. Cool. And now I go to my samples in Tari. Okay, so now we have Atari app running and we have the DevTools running. And then we have a 404 because the specified path was not found, and the path is exactly what it should be. So this didn't work because it couldn't match the path. It could not match /app /app/dash and localhost and 3000. So takes a URL and the router props. Yeah. This is fine. So, and I have the first route. What's not matching? It's the children, because this is ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, things are working, but the types are not, which I think is more of a TypeScript issue, like library type definition kind of issue than anything else in this case. So let's refactor this thing again. This should be navigate component. And navigate component expects an href. This, and this is gone. Nice. So, hey Jacob. So, Jacob, I know you're very much a Tari guy. So, I don't know if you're familiar with what's happening on Solid.js side. So, there is Solid Router is currently on version 0.10.5, but it was a big breaking change from 0.9. So now we're refactoring DevTools to update that, because that actually unlocks some nice features that we could be using in the app in the future, which is like caching. There's some mutation that can be involved. It goes like line in line with some of the plans we have going forward. So if I get this routing set up to date to the new router, it kind of is gonna be nice when getting back the whole team in January. We can go like all in on the new plans. So that's what we're doing right now, but TypeScript is failing me a little bit. I updated everything, and these types are going haywire, are yelling at me. though they shouldn't be, actually. Specifies route definition array. So like it matches exactly the type definition that it should match, but then when I use it as a child, I have some fancy title. So yeah, it matches exactly what it should match in the definition. So if I go to routes, the router accepts as children either a JSX element or a route definition. And I just now confirm for sure that like TypeScript can see what's going on. So yes, we have a few Tauri working group people around here. We have Fabian Lars. We have the one and only, where is he? Where? How can I can't see his message. Daniel was sending messages before. Yeah. So we have Daniel somewhere around here. At least he was somewhere around here. And we have Jacob, which is also not only on the Tauri board, he also has a very awesome YouTube channel where he does a lot of live stream. I think Jacob, you're the first guy I saw writing stuff with Tauri 2.0, which is pretty amazing. I'm gonna update now I have a solid template that I want to update and show people how to ship solid to mobile apps, because that's definitely something a story that Solid's missing in this case. Like a lot of people want Solid to have like a complete story to match the story that React can offer. So React has React Native, React has all sort of nice integrations with a bunch of other stuff. And Solid at the moment is a little bit unaware that you can actually do a bunch, like you can build native apps with Solid, and coming Tauri 2.0, I think it's gonna be awesome, because I think they have the best set for integration, because Solid has the right modular version, modular architecture that Tauri could use. So basically, if you're gonna do static site generation in a single page application and then put it inside a Tauri app, you can have just that code, while on most of the other web frameworks you don't. Oh yeah, so Jonas, for the ones of you who don't know, is Jonas Krukenberg. He's actually on the DevTools team. Most of the Rust code that I'm running here is his code. I'm not sure most, but quite a lot. And yeah, so he also has a talk in VidConf where he talks about Solid 2.0. He shows it how to do it. So basically, I'm gonna do the same, I guess. And yeah, hi Alex. How's it going? So yeah, now since we have everything working, I need to make sure that these are just types in my issues. So back to the back here, I have the router, and okay, I just confirmed this is exactly the type that I need it to be. And So I'm very inclined to so okay, so I can assert and then it works. So for some reason, okay, so the problem is not on the type definition inside the router. The problem is that somehow TypeScript accepts that this thing satisfies. Oh, not quite. So this thing. So in this particular case, why? So I cannot have, so my layout doesn't really match what I need it to. Okay, so good. So now the difference between satisfy and the assertion is that the assertion is basically going to tell the TypeScript compiler exactly what type it should consider this thing to be, while satisfies is gonna say, okay, so I need this type which has a matching overload, otherwise satisfy would have a squiggle line here. So there is one overload that matches, and I want this type to make sure that during the runtime, this thing is gonna be this one. So what's happening is that my layout component apparently has one possible overload that matches a JSX element, but has another one that doesn't. And let's see if I can find the case where it doesn't. It's as straightforward of a component as it gets, except for my two context providers. So let's see if my context providers are messing my life up. Add a fragment over here. And then so this is gone, and now back over here, still not. What I want actually is this. Awesome. And then I have my layout, and then it's now sync, and boom, it works. Awesome. So now let's quit this thing and this thing anymore. Awesome. And we can put this thing back. Okay, we got it working. And now I can delete this whole crap over here. So we have solid router running, and let me go back to it. So here's my little sample lab that I use to test things, and boom. Okay, so we have my app connected. I'm still getting my events over here. I have my spin waterfall. See, my test commands working. I go over to my sources. I can see everything. Great. My Tari tab is absolutely the same. Awesome. So we're good for a PR. Okay, so there's actually this one part where it's not quite part of this PR. Not part of the update. This is the overflow on error message. One is gone, and then this thing should be its own thing, which is the update solid router 2.0.10.5. Awesome. So now I can come back over here and now even link the migration PR. So whoever's reviewing, if they want to, they can check it out. No, the sample app is actually running in is a separate process. So what I usually have when I'm working on it is I just have two different tabs, one running the dev one and the other one just running it locally. So it's just a bare bones Tori app. It's actually committed inside this this repository. So essentially, if you wanna check it out as you go, if you clone this repository and you wanna play around with it, it's inside the example story, and it's just this one. So you can just start running it, and the text, this test command is just like a fetch request and just brings it's a fetch request to Rust, rustlang.org, I think. And then we just have a random sleep there. So that's what allows us to see the span waterfall having with handling like variable intervals and things like that. So yeah, we might need to make something a little bit more convoluted going forward to test more stuff. So yeah. Oh, I can. Oh, seriously, GitHub autocomplete is so bad. Oh, folks, you guys don't have your names on your stuff. I wanted to put everyone. So I'm gonna do that off camera because it's gonna be very annoying to see. So now we have a pull request, and if you guys want, oh, I can post message to some channels. Let's see if it goes. Yeah, so we have a pull request, but do I have confetti? Yes, I do. So awesome, thanks a lot. We can have Netlify deploy this, and then we'll be good to go. Nice. What was the other? Okay, so with this, we can call this stream a success. And I will then go back to reviewing my pull requests and get some people to approve this one. And I think this was pretty productive. Thanks a lot. What's CI/CD? So what we have right now, the web client is deployed to Netlify. So what we have is just a deploy preview on Netlify, and we have two here because this is a monorepo, and basically we have the website also deployed from here, and that's what not the CrabNebula website, but the DevTools website. So if you go to devtools.crabnebula.dev, it is actually an Astro website, and then if you go to /app, you go to the single page application. Oh, okay, yes. So the actual CI, which are the GitHub actions that we have, are a little bit more than that. We have the WC is not because my code is shitty. It's because it's web client, so it's not a toilet. And then we have the release please, which is for Rust. Yes, we have an Astro website, Alien. We do like Astro a lot. For the ones of you who don't know, Alien works at Astro. So yeah. So he's part of the DX team, and yeah, so we actually have two Astro apps in CrabNebula. We have our website that was a Svelte kit, and we're moving towards Astro. I actually have a PR to finish reviewing. And then we have the DevTools website that right now is just one page, but it's gonna become the documentation for using the DevTools. And then we have the DevTools, that's a Solid.js single page application. Then we have another project that we're working that's also a single page application with Solid. And yeah, so here's a fun fact, Vitor. Do you know that both Solid.js and Astro have Sarahs that are leading docs? So I don't know which one you're talking about. And the beta docs that you're talking about is the Tauri docs. So the Tauri docs, the current V1 is this one is actually a Dokusaurus app. And then we have the V2, which I just fumbled. Somebody in the chat help me with a URL. The heck? Totally forgot what's the... See if I can... Oh. Okay. And this one is actually Starlight website. Oh, nice. That's good to know. So you're talking about the solid template that comes from the Creatory app? Or you're talking about this one? What's the name? Should give better names, I think. I have the Create Solid.js Tailwind Tauri, which I think I've been living in Germany for too long. So essentially, this is the same example from the Creatory app, but then I recreated this in Tailwind. Oh yeah, so that's the one. Thanks. So this one is the one that I'm soon gonna update to Tauri V2 and have it also shipping Android and iOS. Yeah. So Starlight is pretty awesome. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So this one I'm gonna put a V2. And what are you saying, Jacob? What, you don't know what we're talking about? Starlight, yeah, is actually pretty nice. We actually, like, I work a lot with Solid, and we're actually building the Solid docs with Solid Start, of course. And we took a lot of stuff from Astro. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. So let's go back to the Tauri. So this one is the new docs, which is gonna have a bunch of stuff on the V2, and yeah, it uses all the bells and whistles from Starlight. Yeah, so there's actually a nice story from back in the day, like my first work in Germany, where I was supposed to create this library for using in all our JavaScript code. And my CTO at the time, I used to joke with him. He was like the most German guy ever. And I told him, look, I want to call this library a utility belt. And I'm going to give it like a Batman kind of vibe logo, whatever. And he said, yeah, I don't think utility belt is a good name. And I said, okay, what name? And he said, okay, let's use like company name, JavaScript, utility helpers library. That's kind of a long name. He says, yeah, but at least it's very explicit. Everybody's going to know what's about. So yeah, I always remember that's been 9 years. But yeah, I always remember that. So cool, guys. And yeah, so now we are good. We have, I almost tossed my water all over my desk right now. So we're good with this. Oh, I already got, like, what? Ah, there's the bots. I thought it was one of you commenting. Oh yeah, Fabian Lars. Fabian Lars is our German representative. Do you know one thing that I just realized is that we have a Fabian Lars at CrabNebula, and we have a designer that's also on the Tauri working group, which is Alf Larsson, and Larsson means son of Lars. So, is that something you want to tell us about, Fabian Lars? You guys related or something? That's a bad joke. Sorry, I do bad jokes when my mind starts roaming. I'm just relieved that we got it working. So, oh, Vitor's around. Vitor's doing a lot of work on the Tower docs, right? That's why I came back here. Fascinating, yes. So, folks, thanks a lot for being around with me. It was super, super fun. Oh, look what I'm doing. Oh, okay, yeah, I need to take my screen. It's always time for a nice dad joke. Yeah. And that's it. Then I always feel bad about ending streams because you're not talking to me. So I don't see you leaving, and I'm just gonna press a button. And then there's like 5 more minutes, like 5 more seconds of you listening me talk while I close everything. But it was awesome pair programming with you folks. I always feel productive when we do this live streaming. Yeah. So thank you. And for the next one, which is probably gonna be first week of January, I'll let you enjoy your holidays and see you soon then. Bye bye.